Hello and welcome to the final round of the Modern League, playing Living End. So this hand is pretty interesting in as much as we have a turn 2 Fulminator Mage, but literally nothing else. So against an unknown opponent, is this a keepable hand? Two ways to go off. So realistically, all we really want to be drawing with this hand is cyclers. So if they're a very aggressive deck, then the Fulminator Mage is more or less a dead card. If they're not so much, then the Fulminator Mage could be really good. So that's what it comes down to, really. It's just a bit of a coin flip, in my opinion, about whether or not this hand is keepable. I think it is fine. What would make me really... I think what's really kind of tipping it over the edge towards mulligan this away is having the Living End, which is basically a dead card. So going down to 6... makes me feel like we're not really losing an awful lot in terms of the amounts of cards we have in our hand already, because this is doing nothing for us. So if we go to 6, we're still... well, if we keep this, we have a 6-land hand. If we go to 6, we have a 6-land hand. So I'm going to take a risk and keep this. I perfectly respect the fact that this is probably a mulligan. However, I'm going to take a gamble that the Fulminator Mage is going to do some work for us. It's probably incorrect as we're on the... oh my god, we're going to lose. Lantern. I wonder if they're groaning as hard as we just did. Make that bigger. Okay, so I guess Blackcleave CLiffs. The Cycler was a good draw, to be fair. This is going to be a weird game. I want that land. I'm annoyed it makes these pictures quite small of what's actually coming up next every time it changes. Yay, Living End. So we've got Faerie Macabre. I'm just going to read out what I got on top because I'm not going to keep maximising that. So we've got Faerie Macabre on top. I think we're just going to go with our plan of forcing through this Fulminator Mage. Because they haven't played a land. We're going to lose to cards like Ensnaring Bridge. So just completely removing their ability to play this game is going to be very useful. Especially when we can see that they're not drawing land as well. It's frustrating that they can manipulate their library so much in order to tear through and probably get around the fact that they're going to be stuck on lands, but this is, I think it's still a perfectly valid play. And their deck is full of stuff like this. So they're going to draw and then draw the Pixis of Pandemonium, which is their win condition. Good. So we've drawn Faerie Macabre. What I'm tempted to do here is just cast Violent Outburst. So we're going to discard Faerie Macabre to get rid of a Glimmer Void and Mishra's Ball. We're just going to cast Living End here. The reason I'm doing this now is because I absolutely don't want to draw another living end, having just drawn the other two, and also this will put a substantial amount of power on the table. Abrupt Decay doesn't kill Horror of Broken Lands, and the Fulminator Mage can be used to remove the land before they can even play said Abrupt Decay, and just keep them off of Ensnaring Bridge, because we just lose hard to that card. We only have one main deck answer to it. So this feels pretty good. And so they mill it away because they just need land. Yeah. So that was a pretty risky keep with the Fulminator Mage, but it just goes to show that the reason why it's in the deck, because turn 2 Fulminator Mage just absolutely wrecked our opponent there. This is a very extreme example because their land count is probably as low, if not lower, than ours, and we were really, really, really lucky that they didn't draw another land. They saw a lot of cards, filtered a lot of cards, and drew an extra card with a Mishra's Bauble. So that was very unfortunate for them to get completely shut down from that, but it paid off for us. Cards we definitely want. Definitely want Krosan Grips, and probably want to take out Faerie Macabres. I don't think this does anything. Fulminator Mage. Definitely want a Beast Within. Take out a Demonic Dread because they don't have creatures. Another Fulminator Mage, another Demonic Dread. Let's go. Have a lot of discard, so that Krosan Grip's probably going to get torn out of my hand. As is Simian Spirit Guide. We have a Cycler. I think we'll keep. So they don't have the discard, then having the Krosan Grip could be quite good. This is an interesting match because there is going to be so many cards that I want to kill with the Krosan Grip. I just milled a living end. Yeah, Surgical Extraction at this point would be awful. Don't do it. Yeah. Not a lot I can do about that. Probably going to take the Grip. Away we go. Let's get cycling. So we want Overgrown Tomb, I think, to double up on green. Just in case something weird happens. I don't think they play... Oh, do they play... No, they don't play Blood Moon. That'd be silly. Do they play Blood Moon? We will take 2 life. We'll pay 2 life, rather. And then... Cycle, cycle, cycle. I'm intrigued. He did actually take the Spirit Guide, which is funny. He was obviously so broken by the turn 2 Fulminator Mage. Ah! In the draw step. Slow rolled. So what's he targeting? Oh no, it doesn't say. Does it say? Living in. Yeah. I don't know why I would ask what he's targeting. It seems fairly obvious he'd target living end. So we lose pretty hard to that card. I don't really... is there any point doing anything else? Okay, there is a response that I could have here. So I will cycle an Architects of Will. Oh no, I took out my Faerie Macabres. I think I took them all out. But let's play as if we do have it. Yep, fine. Okay, so he gets to violate my library. Ugh. The chosen card is Living End. Thank you. Yeah, we didn't want to see this. Okay, roll out the mire and off we go again. It's good that we got a land off of the top. Ancient Stirrings. That surgical extraction was quite brutal. Sure. Have to cycle a Carabid. Got to do something. Yeah. Cycle another Carabid. Draw the Carabid. Just move that here. Yep. So we got a land on top of the library. I think we need to destroy the Inventor's Fair. That's not very nice. It's basically how he gets the Pyxis of Pandemonium or whatever it's called. So if I cast Fulminator Mage, that takes that off. Yeah. How much mana does he need for that? Tap 4, sacrifice it. Alright, so that's not going to happen for a moment. So actually we could wait and just try and attack our opponent with this. Fine. So I was thinking about perhaps removing the artifacts, and then he wouldn't have any artifacts left to have his stuff alive, but now he's just taken Krosan Grip. That changes things quite drastically. Horror of the Broken Lands. This is interesting. Definitely going to attack him. So if I beast within then one of his lands, then I think I'd rather just cycle a bit, see what comes up. Beast within one of my own lands, perhaps. I know I'm going to get the horror. So, do I really want him? Search library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand. I don't really want that. And also, it's gaining him life as well. Yeah, make your mana. I don't care. Probably should have done it last turn, so he doesn't get anything out of it. He doesn't get mana out of it, but no, it's not. It doesn't matter anyway. End step. So that's basically free. A Demonic Dread is irrelevant. So I think cycle the. I need 5 mana to cast these cards. So if I cycle a Ceradon as the most expensive, see what comes out. think I need to keep the Beast Within for a... Beast within my own land. Because he's just going to cast it. None of these things I really want to kill with a Beast Within. But he's just going to Inquisition my Beast Within anyway. So I may as well make it to attack. Which is not great, but this is kind of what this game turns into, just nonsense. So now that my library has that, I may try and draw that. I also want to draw that. And that. Okay, so he's going to Surgical Extraction the Beast Within before I'm able to draw it. I wanted to draw... I wanted to draw the land so that I could play these big creatures that I'm casting, that I've got in my hand, or had in my hand. And then I wanted to draw the Simian Spirit Guide to help with that, or just to have as a castable threat. But also the fact, then I saw the Beast Within, and I wanted to definitely draw the Beast Within to remove the Ensnaring Bridge when it hits, or just to have it as another way of applying pressure on the board. You've got a Lantern of Insight with his thingy. Gonna get a Horror. So in we go with the Beast. I don't know how anyone can play this deck. I just find it so soul destroying. Even to play it, like, you know, people like different decks, but I just couldn't do this. Just couldn't do this to myself. So we lose to Ensnaring Bridge. So if I don't put the Simian Guide down, then we win in 3 turns. If I do put it down, we win in 2 turns, assuming they draw nothing. Given we know what the top card is, I think we just hard cast a Spirit Guide here. I mean, it's along the similar line of why we played the Beast in the first place. Just need to hope they don't draw it. They've got no cards in hand, and yeah. If they draw it, they draw it, but that's kind of what we're hoping they don't do. It's the play we're making. Target player shuffles their library. Okay, so he really wants to draw Ensnaring Bridge. Bauble again. It's true, Fulminator Mage. That was a good draw. Or was it? Probably not. So they have 1 draw step, or they could draw Abrupt Decay. So I want to be able to cycle. I mean, they're not going to make me mill a land. They're going to leave that land on top. So if I cycle, I don't know what happens if I don't find a card, and I don't want to break Magic Online by casting this Demonic Dread. If I knew it shuffled my library, I might go for a Demonic Dread. But again, that's kind of tapping out. So essentially what I need to happen here is them just to not draw Ensnaring Bridge. And if they do, then we just lose. Probably. Whereas if I play nothing and they draw Abrupt Decay, then they buy themselves another turn. So I think I want to cast the Fulminator Mage here. But then if they play the Ensnaring Bridge, I can... No, because they're just going to... I can't draw... I'm thinking of keeping the Horror back and then cycling through to draw. Having the Cycler up to then draw into a Beast Within. Krosan Grip. But I've only got one more left, I think. I think he's... Or two? Is he exiled it? No. So I've got two more Krosan Grips left. Each player puts the top card in. So if I cycle, he's going to mill the good card if it appears there anyway. So I think I do this. And just add power to the board. Just have to hope that they don't draw Ensnaring Bridge, and if they do, then we're in a lot of trouble. He really wants a shuffle effect. So if he does this and gets a basic, I should have done that. I didn't really look at this as a play. Then again, I don't play against or play with this deck very much, so I should have reduced his mana, stop him from getting another chance to shuffle his library. But there's no point now because he floats the mana in response. Has he got it? I think you can cast it now. Nope, there we go. I completed the league. Yeah, that was pretty cagey. My opponent needed to basically dig for Ensnaring Bridge, but he didn't get there, which was very, very lucky for us, very unlucky for them. That's kind of what that matchup or that game had sort of boiled down to in the end. I Beast Within my own land to attack with a 3/3 and hard casting Simian Spirit Guides to just attack. That is a strange game. But glad we won that one because that would have been depressing to get that point. And then he just top decks Ensnaring Bridge. I think we got quite lucky that he didn't see it in either game, to be fair, as that is the key card that deck kind of wants and needs to play. So yeah, that was the league. I went 3-2 in the end. Not terribly upset with that, considering the monumental play mistakes I made in a couple of key moments. That being said, I think one game in particular, I had one round in particular, that both games in them I didn't really have much chance of winning the way the games have panned out. And I'm starting to really think that perhaps Krosan Grip didn't really get a chance to shine very much. Probably just want to go back to having more Beast Withins and Ingot Chewers, as Ingot Chewers killed quite a lot of the grave hate that you do come up against, and much lower down on the curve, which is really relevant. So if someone goes turn 1 Relic and you just go, okay, untap turn 1 Ingot Chewer, that's much better than waiting to turn 3 to cast Krosan Grip while they execute the rest of their game plan and have this relic on the table which is slowly getting rid of all the cards that you're cycling. So it's a tough one. I'm not sure on Krosan Grips anymore, but it's just out of the fear of Rest in Peace. I don't just like folding to Rest in Peace. Maybe Beast Within is enough. Just have to ride on that single card and just hope. Can't do well against everything. If you like this video or the series of videos, then give the video a like. I'm also on Facebook if you want to follow me on there. Keep up to date with all the videos I post as I upload them. Subscribe if you like these kind of videos. I like to try and get as much game playing as possible. Haven't played as many games recently as I've been focusing on deck techs and things like that. So if you want to stick around for more content like this or like the deck techs, then do consider subscribing, as there will be plenty more content like that to come. I also run a podcast called Glimmer of Genius, which can be found at glimmerofgenius.podbean.com, as well as on the MTG Cast network, which is mtgcast.com. I hope you enjoyed these videos. If you've got any comments or criticism, then please do let me know in the comments section. I hope once again that you enjoyed what you saw. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more.